Hello, my name is Hope, and today I'm going to show you how to make the cutest crochet ruffle kitten heels. So if you're anything like me, you have definitely seen that crochet flip-flop trend going around, and I figured I'd do my own spin and make it a little classy. And I immediately knew kitten heels would be the way to go. And before we get started, I would love to talk to you about today's sponsor, which is FlexiSpot. They were kind enough to send me one of their Lotus recliner chairs, and y'all, I'm gonna be honest, I was so surprised how quick it was to put together this chair. The sitting space alone in this chair is absolutely insane. You can even sit in it crisscross, which I know a lot of us love. It also swivels, and it is a back and forth rocking chair. And this model is an electric recliner. This chair comes with a variety of additional features. Check it out by clicking the link down below, and don't miss out. Use my exclusive code LOTUS30 to get $30 off plus free shipping. Thank you FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Now for the supplies, we're going to need a 5mm hook. You're also going to need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. And of course, yarn. You're going to need a weight for yarn. I'm going to be using this color white from Loops and Threads, and just a random black yarn I have from Hobby Lobby, which is I love this yarn. And to be honest, I have been in love with this yarn recently. And lastly, of course, you're gonna need some kitten heels. This brand is No Boundaries from Walmart. So how we're going to start is we're going to attach our yarn to one side of the band and go all the way around, and we'll end up going back to the other end. So we're gonna start off by attaching our yarn. You're just gonna loop it around one end of the band, and you're going to just tie it on. And personally, I like to do a double knot just to make sure it's extra secure. Next, what we're going to do is begin crocheting over this tail end and working up our foundation stitches for the ruffles. The way I like to do this is I pull the tail end over the inside of the band so we can start crocheting over it. What I'm going to do then is insert my hook up under that band and grab the yarn. Then I'm just going to start doing single crochets over the band. Now I'm just going to grab the yarn, and it's a little tricky at first. It does slip off sometimes, but with a little bit of practice you will get used to it in no time. And there is one, and I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that again. And there's another, and we're just gonna do that a couple more times. So as you start crocheting around the band, you're gonna see right here, there's these little gaps. So to avoid that, you're gonna wanna push these stitches down so that you don't see any of the fabric up underneath. And you're gonna repeat that until you get to the middle of the strap right here. And then I'm going to show you what to do next. So keep on doing your single crochets over the band and pushing them down, and I will meet you back at that spot. So this is what it should be looking like. I have a whole bunch of single crochets over the side of the band, and now you're gonna see I am at the very center point, and what I'm going to do is directly start doing that same single crochet stitch over the other side of the band. Now just go ahead and repeat placing those single crochets over the band and then pushing them down until you reach the end of this side. And remember, do not fasten off because we're going to start doing our ruffles next. So at this point, both sides of the foundation stitches for the ruffles should be done. And now we're gonna go ahead and start working up our ruffles all the way around the band. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start by chaining 3, and we're going to place 5 double crochets into each stitch. And that first chain 3 does count as a double crochet. Now into that same stitch, I am going to place 5 double crochets. And that finishes up the first cluster of 5. Now what we're going to do is keep placing 5 double crochets into each of these stitches around until we meet the very center of this band. And when we get to that point, I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do next. So now we're going to do another cluster of 5 double crochets. And as you work up your stitches, you're going to notice all of those double crochets are going to start curling up, making those ruffles. So keep repeating that and I'll meet you at the end. And here you can see one of the sides of the ruffles are finished. The more double crochets you add in a single stitch, the more ruffly it will be. So when I get closer to the center point of the band, what I like to do is do a couple of double crochets, and then I place a single crochet in the stitch closest to that center of the band. And this is where I'm going to place that single crochet, and then I will place another single crochet into that next stitch to it. And from here, you're just going to continue placing your 5 double crochets into each stitch until you get to the end of this row. At this point, you should be done with your ruffles, and what you're going to do, if you decide to add another color, you can. If not, what you're going to do is just do a single crochet, pull up a long loop, grab your scissors, cut your yarn and sew in that end. And I do like to go in and sew that end through the inside of the band. Then you're just going to go ahead and snip off your extra ends. And to be honest, at this point you could leave it, but if you do want to add a little extra layer of color or sparkle, like on one of the pairs I made, I did end up adding some sequins onto the top. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to grab our second color of yarn, and you're going to attach that yarn to either end of the ruffles, and we're going to just simply tie it on with a double knot. So at this point, you're going to insert your hook and chain up 1. And now you're going to go ahead and place a single crochet into each stitch all the way around until you make it to the end of the other side of the band. And by doing that, all you're doing is adding some more definition to those ruffle stitches, and you're just going to repeat that all the way around until you make it to the end of the ruffles. And when you do get finished, what you're going to do then is chain 1, pull up a long loop, snip the yarn, and sew in all of your ends, and you are going to repeat everything I just showed you to your second shoe. But when you get your one shoe finished, it should look something like this. And to be honest, congratulations, because this is not the easiest to make. Ruffles, if you have been crocheting for a while, definitely are time consuming, but they are so worth it. So thank you so much for joining in for this tutorial. Do let me know how you liked it, and if you end up making these cuties, please do tag me because I always love seeing your creations. And if you guys are interested, these 2 shoes are available in a size 7 on my website. The link will be in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching.